Hi, this is Ludwig-Johns, and I'm going to tape my cooking modification recipe for my healthy cooking class. I'm sure that was attractive. So I chose to make a traditional oatmeal cookie, chocolate chip, and then the variation of the oatmeal chocolate chip cookie to cut some of the bad stuff out. I chose this because my children love sweet things, and traditional cooking is, although taste a lot better, aren't so good for them. There's a lot of sugar in them, a lot of fat, a lot of carbs, and the sodium's not too great either. But I came across a recipe a few months ago, and I've been making it every once in a while for the kids. That's just 3 ingredients, nothing really added to it, and they seem to enjoy it all right. I've never made them side by side before because pretty sure everybody would go for the traditional recipe. But I'm going to put them side by side for this project, knowing that I would never let my children taste them at the same time because I know which one they'd go for. But if you go and do the new recipe by itself, the natural sweetness and the chocolate are enough to where my 5-year-olds think that it's just a chocolate chip cookie. So first I'm going to go and I've already made some ahead of time, but take a look at what goes in the traditional recipe. So as you can see, there's a lot of butter, 2 different kinds of sugar, an egg, vanilla, flour, baking soda, oats, chocolate chips, and some salt. And you just kind of mix it all together, put it on a pan, put it in a preheated oven at 325 until it's a little golden brown around the edges. But for mine, new recipe, all as you need is 2 large bananas, 1 cup quick oats, and a 1/4 cup of chocolate chips. So what we're going to do with the bananas is we're just going to kind of mush them up. So this is going to be hard because I'm doing it one-handed. So and I did wash my hands before I did this, so sorry, you don't get to see that part. So you just take it. I like to take the ends off of it so that the hard part's not in the cookies. I'm going to grab my other one. And put it in there. And all you do to mash it up is you take the fork and you literally just mash it up like you were making some homemade baby food. I guess if you wanted to, you could put it in a puree or a food processor. So I'm not going to do it as much as I normally would for time purposes, but you need to get all the big chunks out so that part of your cookie doesn't have a soft spot. So I also do a lot of hand mixing with my own hand. So right after that, you take a cup of the quick oats and you dump it in, as well as a 1/4 of a cup of the chocolate morsels. I choose dark chocolate because we like it better. And you just put them in there. And like I said, I like to hand mix everything because then I know that there aren't big chunks of the banana that'll make the cookies too soft, and will let my kids know that they're not real cookies. So after they're mixed, which I'd probably mix this for another 45 seconds or so, I just take some parchment paper and just drop little cookies, because they'll expand because of the oatmeal, on the parchment paper. This is really hard doing one-handed. And this recipe actually does yield 16 cookies, and you'll see how big they get once I show you one of the finished products. So once I'm done putting them all on there, you just make sure that they're nice. Give them enough space just to round out. And then you stick them in the oven. Once they're in the oven, they kind of look a little more like that. And I went ahead and have one by each other. This one right here, that's the traditional. This one over here is the one we've made with the 3 ingredients. Like I said, this one's definitely better if you have them side by side because it's much sweeter. I prefer this one because you get that banana taste, but hopefully they would never be side by side. Now, as far as the comparison of nutrition, the new recipe only has 57 calories, 2 grams of fat, 2 milligrams of sodium, 10 grams of carbs. 1.5 of that's dietary fiber, and it's got very limited saturated fat. But if you go to the old version, you're going to see that there's 145 calories, 8 grams of fat, 17.2 carbs, and 107 milligrams of sodium. Not to mention all of those ingredients you have to have in your cupboard and mixed together. So you roughly add, for the traditional one, 88 calories, 6 grams of fat, 105 milligrams of salt, and 7 carbs to have it the old way. So if my kids don't know the difference, I'm going to give them the new recipe, which is more than half better and easier to make. So I hope you give this recipe a try, and good luck cooking.